Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling at the moment? Today's topic is on creativity and problem solving. And yes, there is a direct link. You have to be creative in order to find solutions. And there are many amazing ways that you can express your creativity, from art to gardening. And you know what? It's actually really relaxing. But in order to solve a problem, you really need to step outside the box. Because if you are thinking in black and white the whole time, you're not going to find a solution. And not everyone is creative by nature, and you don't have to be. But when it comes to your problem solving in this area of your life, you have to practice creativity, because we need to find different ways of doing things. We need to find different solutions. We need to look for different ways of doing things. We have to learn from getting it wrong and think of brand new ways of trying again so we can get it right. You have to really think outside the box, because some problems in life are not simple and they need a deeper think, a deeper reflection on how can I solve this problem. But don't attract more problems. When you focus on problem solving and you become problem solving focused, then you start focusing less on the problems and you start focusing more on solutions. And when you make that mindset shift, it's important to exercise creativity with every decision, with every problem, so that you can find an effective solution, possibly one you never thought of. And creativity is attracting solutions. When you are creative, your mind is open to new ideas. Your mind is open to new ways. Your mind is open to create. And that's why creativity is so important, because we cannot make a decision if we are closed-minded. We cannot make a decision if we are so deep inside our thoughts that we just keep thinking of all the problems that's going on in our lives, and we don't realize it, but we end up attracting more and more and more and more. And that, at the end of the day, is going to stunt your creativity quite badly. And that's why it's important to be creative. And being creative, it takes a lot of patience and it takes a lot of practice, especially if you are not a creative person and you may be a little bit more logical. Remember, yes, it's important to apply logical thinking towards a problem, but that sort of black and white thinking is going to make it very difficult for you to find a solution. And as humans, as perfectly imperfect as we are, as wrapped up we get in our own chaos, in our hectic minds, erratic emotions, we tend to focus too much on the problem. Yes, it's important to acknowledge and accept the problem, but when we become enveloped in the emotions that the problem is causing, we tend to take a step back from problem solving and creativity. Remember, a problem is only a problem once you make it a problem. A problem cannot exist if you have not determined that it is a hurdle, a challenge, an issue, a limitation. We decide the quality of our limitations and how strong they are as well. But when you're creative, that strength in those problems starts to weaken a bit. So it's important to be creative in every problem solving situation, because it also helps you to remain calm. You can think logically in a creative way as well. If you have to apply logic, it sounds so ironic, but you can apply logic thinking in a creative way. And creativity is amazing because it helps us explore the problem, what's actually going on, our attitude towards the problem, what we're thinking about the problem, what we're feeling about the problem, how it affects us, how it affects our functioning, our lives, our productivity, our beliefs. So when you are creative, it gives you the floor to look at different possibilities, and it also allows you to see where the problem is stemming from, what is causing the problem, what is the root, what is the emotions, what is the mindset, what is the perspective. And then you can sort of start to gauge that where all of these things are coming from, that is surrounding the problem, that is making it stronger and stronger. Remember, the more we feed it, the stronger it gets. So creativity will help you to determine where the problem came from, how it's affecting your life, how it's affecting other people in your life, how it's making you feel, how it's holding you back. And creativity also stops self-doubt. And self-doubt affects problem solving, because you cannot solve a problem if you're constantly holding yourself back thinking, oh, but what if, but I'm not good enough, oh, I can't do it. Then you're gonna end up attracting more problems. So when you are creative, you are more spontaneous, you are more out there, more insightful, more aware of the gravity of it. So when you are creative, you allow your mind to open up. And when you are closed, you experience self-doubt. But when you are open, you experience growth. Creativity also takes you out of a pity mindset, because people who pity themselves don't want to solve the problem. They want to be enveloped in the problem. They want to become part of the problem. They want to become the problem, even if they're not consciously thinking about it. It's because of that lack of creativity, that lack of fire, that lack of passion. And creativity also helps the flow of new ideas. As I said, because you are channeling your mind into a more open state where you can receive new ideas, where you can receive new perspectives, where you can receive new mindsets. So people who pity themselves don't want to step out, because creativity means you have to take initiative, you have to do something, you have to be present. And people who get stuck in their problems don't want to do that because of issues of self-worth, self-doubt, doubting competencies, abilities, skills. And when you are wallowing in problems, you tend to feel sorry for yourself because you're not actually doing something to make it better or to change it or to improve it. And being creative actually activates both hemispheres of the brain so they can communicate well, and this has a lot of benefits. And one of them is actually problem solving. So when you are being creative, the brain becomes more connected to itself, so it's able to solve new problems. And that's the connection that you want, is the brain to work together at once. And it's important to spike your creativity with activity. And you don't have to draw. I mean, I can't draw, but you can do anything else that requires a different level of thinking, or something that ignites your passion, or something that you have to think about in an abstract way, a task you have to complete, but you have to think in an abstract way. And it's imperative that you stop seeing the problem as a limitation and you see it as an opportunity to apply creativity. And when you apply creativity, you turn that into an opportunity to self-develop, to grow, to let go, to move forward. And creativity plays a very important role in problem solving. And we cannot effectively problem solve if our minds are not open to new ideas, new possibilities. So remember, to apply your problem solving, you need to be creative, and you can incite your creativity with anything. And it's important that we get our brains communicating and active so that we can face limitations and become more resilient in solving our problems. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that stunning person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.